Rewind, it's the year 2000. It's 20 years ago from today. We have to go back pretty far to get to the root of where I met these amazing people who changed my life. So I elected to wear the garb of my former years, handmade dress, one of my better thrift store finds. And if you can picture this in your mind, it was a beautiful sunny September fall crispy leaf day on the IU Bloomington campus, and I was walking inside to my favorite class, which was about interpretation and tour guiding and giving people nature hikes, and I was like super jazzed, and I got there early because I wanted to show my friends this thing that I had made, which was just for fun. And it's just an edible plants field guide that I printed out and laminated because I love laminating things, and I still do. So I sit down and I'm showing my friends, and this woman was sitting near me and she said, "Hey, what is that?" And I was like, "This is just a field guide I made just for kicks." And she kind of looked at me like, "Why? Why would you do extra work?" She was from Indianapolis, and she was coming down to work on her graduate degree. She was a little older than me, and I didn't really know her. But she said, "Can I see that, and flip through it?" And I was like, "Yeah, and she said, "Hey, do you need an internship?" Heck yeah, I did. And that internship was about to change my life because I met two very important people in my life, Vicky and John, through this internship. So we're going to fast forward and take the carefree spirit, happy-go-lucky college kid up to her internship in Indianapolis at Holiday Park. Hello friends, meet Jules the intern from the year 2001. I started interning at Holiday Park in Indianapolis in January of 2001. So my direct supervisor was Vicky, who recruited me straight out of that classroom. And then her boss, or our manager for the park, was John. Now both of these two people played a huge role in influencing how I approach Parks and Rec, who I wanted to be as a person. And I want to tell you a few things that contributed to that. So number one, they taught me a lot of nature, but also gave me opportunities that I don't think I would have had elsewhere. I was really getting into birds, and once we had this new author, this famous birder, come and visit, and Vicky handed me her binoculars and said, "You go with them, you test it out." And it was so cool. Here's a picture of me and David Sibley from that time. Honestly, talk about what an amazing day it was to meet this famous birder and ride around in the back of a minivan with him. Although I did get admonished for calling him Dave instead of Mr. Sibley at one point, but Dave and I were on the same page about we're all friends here. Besides that new experience, John also let me have some creative license with some of the programs and things that I did. The first thing I think I did was make this bulletin board, a kiosk out in the park. And I knew what I needed to put on there. Vicky said, "Go for it." And I worked so hard on it, and I thought it was gorgeous. And she looked at it and she was like, "Huh, I don't know what John's gonna say." And let me show you what that looked like from back in the day. And behold, my first kiosk. Now John, a man who really enjoys perfectly measured things and more of an austere layout, probably wanted to throw up a little in his mouth when he saw this. But he didn't tell me no, and he didn't tell me to take it down. He let me write it out, and even encouraged me to do more projects like this. A third thing that happened when I was an intern was that John took the time to take me to my first professional conference. So the National Association of Interpretation's Region 4 conference in LaPorte, Indiana, where later I would end up working. So that, as an intern, was like the coolest thing ever. I got to meet all these superstars in the Parks and Rec field, make connections, and start building a network that I still have today. I'm still involved in the organization, and that was just like an experience I don't think I would have gotten anywhere else. So those few things I mentioned are just a couple of experiences that really changed things. So I guess I want to tell you next just why these two people I think really stand out to me as so awesome. We finally come to the present day. So, why these two people? Why was the internship so awesome? Why those three things that I picked out to remember it? Because what it taught me was that one, um, you have to believe in people and give them a chance to make mistakes and to also have really good successes. It's interesting right now because all these bosses all over the place are having to trust their employees to work from home. Um, that kind of trust is something that I think John and Vicky inherently have in people. They want the best from them and they expect it, but they also want to give their best back. Them giving their best back was taking me to a conference, investing in me, seeing something somewhere and saying, hey, you want to shot with us? And the coolest thing is, I think, that we are still friends. So every October, every fall, we go to Feast the Hunter's Moon and we put on our Voyager costumes and we sleep in canvas tents and we stay up late around the fire solving the world's problems. And I value that. I love that they haven't shook me for 20 years. I'm still tagging around after them. And I love them very much for it. So if I had to pick those people that have made a huge impression on me, I think they really helped form who I would want to be as a professional and as a friend. And I will always love them forever for that.